Here while I'm
Surprise. What happened?
all y'all people out there. Hey, all y'all people out there. Oh man. Hey, let me first of all say something you might notice. I got new gear too. You know what I'm saying? Last time, if you're paying attention, I was commenting on JBK's new audio edge and soundage. Next thing you know, in my daggone front porch, I get a box from Amazon. And I'm like, what the, who the, what the? And next thing you know, it's a box of the same exact gear sent by the one and only, the number one main rapper scrapper, Mr. Jason B. Kendrick. I appreciate you, my man.
Hey, we professional up in here now. We're
Yeah, we
upgrading.
got to we got to
We're on
step
the
it up.
upslope. We
We got to
got
step it up.
irons in the fire and quality to give, so we need good
Speaking of
quality
stepping
equipment.
up, you know how we. Hey, by the way, if you don't know who we are, first of all, it'd be kind of weird
That's
because we're on
weird.
this
Yeah.
timeline. But I am Kirk M. Samuels,
And I am Jason B. Kendrick.
and we are the Mad Men of Masculinity, baby.
That's right. We're just real men having real conversations for you.
That's right.
Oh
This is
yeah. For
your home for healthy
healthy
masculinity, baby.
masculinity. That's
Your
right.
home for healthy masculinity is right here. Right here. You're in the
Cha.
right place. So, hey, obviously, this is not our normal date, our normal time. And so we're trying to keep this pretty quick. We're trying to keep this pretty short because we just had a big, huge aha today. And we think this could help
Uh-huh.
a lot of people. Um,
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, we are, we're kind of in some circles here in the Colorado area, and one of our favorite groups, one of our favorite places to be, is in the Parker Social team,
Yes.
founded and visionary by the one and only Miss Danielle Hunt, my sister
The
from another
flame.
Mister. Big shout out, one time shout out to you, Danielle. And so we had this concept, and we were talking about this thing, man, and we were like, oh man, we got to just go on today, like this thing is hot right now. We got to go on, especially since there's an event coming this Thursday as we
This
record this on the
Thursday.
15th of May. This Thursday and 19th, there's an event that's coming up. And if you're in the Parker area, Douglas County, if you're in the Denver area and you don't know about Parker Social, you can search it online, Facebook group Parker Social, or go to parkersocial.com. But either way, this event is going to be dope. And if you're not there, if you're not there, you're straight up square. So anyhow, so the concept, man, I've been chatting here, man. Break up the concept, man. Break down this concept here, JBK.
Well, as going to the Parker Social events and being a part of the Parker Social, we do get to talk to a lot of good women, a lot of single women who are looking for love and things. And we do hear a lot of complaints about not being approached or not, getting the quote unquote attention they may be looking for. And it just in our 4.5 hour golf and post golf conversation, we had this kind of aha moment that we're like, oh, what do you need to do if you're a good woman looking for a good man and you see a good man that you might want to have him approach you? Well, you got to turn the light on. And that was really where we got into the conversation, because I think a lot of ladies, and one of the reasons we do this, we have so many ladies watching, is that you don't realize as men in today's society, a lot of the stuff that goes on in our head, and while we may or may not be approaching you, even though we may find you attractive, we may think there might be potential there's a whole like pro and con list that a lot of guys go through nowadays that are like, I want to approach, but I'm not sure, and maybe she's not open to it, maybe if I do I'll get rejected, maybe I run the risk of being harassing or misconstrued, because really what we find is that it depends on your looks. If she's attracted to you, then it doesn't matter what you say, it's all good. If she's not attracted to you, a lot of times, no matter what you say, it's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, and ultimately, obviously, this conversation is not meant for everybody.
No.
First of all, we're talking to singles, and
Mhm.
specifically today, it's more geared towards single women. As
Ladies.
we talk about this, ladies, we're trying to help you out. You can do whatever you want to do you boo boo. But from a man's perspective, from your home for healthy masculinity, the Madman of Masculinity, we're trying to help you. Maybe if you're the one that says, "Man, what do I got to like? What does a good woman got to do these days to get a good man?" Because theoretically, probably even statistically, there are more good women than there are good men. So guess what, ladies? You might have to, stand out a little bit and ultimately let men know that you're open for business.
Mhm.
And when I say open for
Turn the light
business,
on.
obviously, I'm not talking about selling nothing. Don't get all misconstrued. I'm talking about that you're available, that you may be interested.
Yes.
And so yeah, so this stemmed from a 2-hour golf and then a 4.5-hour conversation that we had afterwards. And so should I give the illustration?
Yeah, give the illustration, and
All
then we'll
right.
go into some
And
of the details behind it.
yeah, and so I'm gonna try to again. We're trying to keep this fairly succinct, fairly short, so that you can kind of get in and get the information and get on with your day. But ultimately, so after golf, right? We were trying to decide what we're gonna go eat, and there's a Mexican joint across the street, and the Mexican joint, they have good breakfast burritos, and so I was like, okay, let's go get breakfast burritos over there. So we went across the street. Drove down the parking lot to the strip mall. We went to the Mexican place, and they have like the stickers on the window with the hours. And today is Sunday, and so it said like 8 to 2 or whatever it was on Sunday. And so we pull up, but something didn't look right. And as a matter of fact, when you pull up to the front door, then they had like another piece of paper that was taped to the door that had other hours, and basically it said closed on Sunday. And so we're like, okay, what do we do now? Well, back down the other end of the strip mall, there was this muffin shop. Shout out My Favorite Muffin. We went to this muffin shop, and they actually had a sign, like a sandwich board out front, that says "We are open." Not only that, but they had one open light that was flashing in the window, and they had another open light that was flat out just on solid in another window. And so as we were sitting there talking about this, we were like, maybe some ladies might benefit from understanding that it's good to let a man know that you're open, because from a guy perspective, we can't always believe what we see in the window. So you drive to the Mexican restaurant and it looks like they should be open. All the indications say they should, but they ended up being closed. But at the same time, the My Favorite Muffin was pretty clear that we are open and available for you to come in and to sit down and partake. And they were pretty busy too. And so the metaphor goes, hey ladies, maybe in those settings where you see a man that stands out to you, that a man that you might be interested in, we are definitely not good mind readers. We are definitely not, most of us, high on the intuition phase. So maybe, just maybe, you have to, like the My Favorite Muffin, let somebody know that you're open and that you are basically available and potentially availing yourself to that person. And so that's where the metaphor comes in of turn on your light, turn your light on, and let a guy know. Did I get that right?
Yeah, I mean, and even to further the metaphor, next door was the meat market, and not only did they have the open sign, the door was open, so it was obvious.
It was a literal meat market, like a literal
meat market,
grocery meat market.
They were selling sausages and everything. But anyway, but that's the thing, is like men not being as intuitive, we may not be as socially aware or aware of all the subtle signs. Like, you ladies pick up 100 subtle signs to every one that we might pick up, and every sign we pick up, you think that was so obvious, and we're like, huh? So maybe add a little more obvious for the man, helps him out, because there are so many things in the world today that, like I said, we're checking off things on a list, and if it's not obvious, and especially if we're not in a good confident space that day, maybe something's going on, and we see a girl, we're like, man, she's hot, and I really like to talk to her, but do I think she would like me? Does she look open to me approaching her? What happens if I do approach her, she shoots me down or gets mad because she doesn't find me attractive, and all these different things? And sometimes it just comes down to I'm not even gonna bother, like, it's too much work. And then a woman that may have been attracted to that guy, she's just disappointed. She's sitting there waiting since she saw him come in. You ladies are amazing. Before we even see you, you've seen us, you've analyzed us, and you've decided whether you're attracted to us and interested or not. And we haven't even noticed you yet. And then we sit there after we notice you for 5 or 10 minutes or 3 hours, you waiting for us to come get you. So sometimes opening the door, turn the light on, making it obvious, smile, maybe compliment us or something. And that is just a simple little, like, hello, come in. And he should walk right in. If he doesn't, that's his problem. You gave him the offer, but something like that, especially in social situations, would be very good to get the attention and get the approaching that you wanted.
Yeah. I mean, I firmly believe that men should initiate, the masculine should initiate, the feminine should reciprocate.
Yep.
So what we're not saying, ladies, and how this plays out practically is, so let's say, for example, at this event on Thursday, normally at these events, just because it's social, just because of the way culture is, most of the time, and I think pretty much at every time, there's been more women there than men, right? And so it's up to men to kind of break out of the herd and break out of the wolf pack of the guys hanging dude kind and kind of socialize and mix up. But guess what, ladies? I mean, the again, the reality is you may also have to step out of that female circle and maybe engage a guy. Maybe that looks like a hello. Maybe that looks like a compliment. Maybe that looks like just a turn and an opening of your vibration, an opening of your body language, an opening of your posture. Again, a different kind of eye contact or something like that, to let a guy know that, hey, again, I'm open, my light is on, that whole metaphor, that proverbial thing. So it's one of those things that it's a subtlety, but if a good guy sees that and he picks up on that, then you don't have to flash you don't have to flash a body part, nothing like that.
You have to be too obvious
who you are. Yeah, we don't want you to just straight up, we don't want you to hold it out or nothing like that. But at the same, did I just say that? But anyhow,
I think you did.
But at the same time, the point is, I mean, it's not about cheapening or lessening yourself. It's purely just about, like I said, like any good business would, letting somebody know that you're open, that you're available, and that you are open and available for what they have, what they might be want or looking from you.
Yeah, so something that, extended eye contact, a smile, maybe even if you're bold enough to compliment on his shoes or his shirt or something like that. That's what we teach guys. Go up and compliment her shoes. That's safe. Those are the kind of things that it just opens the door. And one of our previous guests, the author of Modern Manhood, it's conversations about the complicated world of being a good man today. She talks quite a bit about, and this is Cleo Stiller who did this, and she was on our podcast before. She talks quite a bit about, after the Me Too movement, how the world has been jaded, shaded, become more dangerous to men in dating, in approaching women. And so these are all the things we have to think about, because it can be very dangerous to blindly approach a woman you don't know. You don't know what mood she's in. You don't know if she finds you attractive. You don't know what her past is. And so you approach this woman blindly without any of this information, and she doesn't find you attractive. And not only does she not find you attractive, she's in a bad mood. And all of a sudden, before you know it, you could be in court, in jail. I mean, losing your job because she didn't like the way you approached. And so there's all these different things that we're now having to be very careful about. So all these things are run through a guy's head. Like, is she open? Can I go talk to her? Does she find me attractive? Well, is this going to work out? Am I going to get rejected? I mean, I don't care about getting rejected, but am I going to be, cancel cultured? I mean, these are all things the guys think about that nowadays.
And this is how cancel culture has kind of come back to hurt us, I think, because from a guy perspective, if I'm a good guy, right, and I'm not trying to be creepy, and I'm just coming up, trying to initiate conversation or gauge, interest or anything like that, it takes absolutely nothing for a woman to recoil, ew, or can you believe? And then next thing you know, word gets out, he came up, and so this is all the things that are going on in the guy's mind of, like, man, if I make that initial move, even if I'm not creepy, it can easily be perceived as such, and so therefore there's likely a hesitation with a lot of guys, especially good guys, of, man, I don't want to be creepy. I can be friendly. For women, being nice is flirting. For men, you can just be nice and not be flirting, right? And so men can come up and just have a conversation with you. He doesn't mean anything. But if a guy is interested, sometimes the flirty thing, or that interaction, or that gauging thing, can really, it can really be off-putting for a guy to just enter that kind of, that kind of thing. And so, like I said, I think from a woman's perspective, I mean, it is very helpful. And again, you want to stand out. You're in the majority, right? So if you're in the majority and you would like to be noticed by the minority, meaning the minority number of people in the room, then you got to do, if you want something different, you got to do something. And really that comes down to just just turning your light on, shine your light brighter. We walk around with these sunglasses on, because we're jaded, because we, the radiance is so bright that I need UV protection on my eyes. So I got sunglasses on as I'm walking into these single circles. So turning your light up helps me see through the visual protection that I have on, where I might be guarded in terms of all this stuff. Turning your light a little bit brighter to say, hey, how you doing? To kind of maybe lean in a little bit or express some little interest, like I said, with just being open with your body language, turning away from the female group that you're with, and complimenting him, and just saying you think he's interesting, or you think he's nice, or something along those lines, to just give him a little clue to let her know, or it's a flashing light of, hey, I'm open. But those kind of things, can help in the long run. So
yeah. And another thing is, if you're not interested, be nice about it. There's no need to be catty, no need to be rude. I mean, we're not in high school anymore. Mean Girls was a movie that's done with.
Yeah.
If you're not interested, just be nice about it, because rejection is hard enough on both sides. Yeah. But guys get rejected so much more that even if you're not interested, just be like, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm not interested, or whatever. We can handle that a lot more, and that won't make us so much more gun shy as probably some of the experiences we've had in the past, where instead of it just being like, oh no, thank you, it was, ew, oh, what are you doing? Oh, you're so nasty. Oh, why are you even talking to you? Yeah, that's uncalled for. And I mean, we're grown folks now. We're not boys and girls. We're men and women. We can be nice and have communication in a nice and civil way.
And if you're a woman and you're thinking, man, I don't want to be rejected, like I don't want him to, whatever, I will tell you that odds are the rejection factor is pretty low with men, meaning you're not going to get the ew, what do you want? You're not going to get any of that kind of stuff. If he's not interested, if you turn your light on and he walks past your door, then okay, it just wasn't meant to be. But at the same time, you have less of a threat or less of a worry as a woman of being rejected from a man as a man does of being rejected from a woman. So it's pretty low threat, low risk in that whole thing. And like I said, we're not saying feel a guy up or, just be loose with it or whatever. We're just saying turn your light on and let him know that you're open, that you're available. That's it. And if he doesn't see it, if he doesn't reciprocate, then that's his problem.
Yeah, and just remember, we're guys. We don't have that intuitive nature. We don't see all the subtle hints. Sometimes you may have to do something you think is blatantly obvious for us to be like, hey, I think she might be interested. You think you're like waving flags and flashing lights and doing all that stuff, and the guy's just oblivious. I mean, some guys are just oblivious. They're just being nice. They don't get it. But those are the things that we have to accept about the differences in men and women. Sometimes guys just aren't getting the hints. So, doing things like smiling, eye contact, maybe saying hi, something like that, that at least lets him know that you're open to connection or conversation or something like that. And that's up to him to walk through. But I guarantee you, the more open you are in that way, the more smiles you give, the less scowls you put on your face, whatever, the more, I mean, it's your product you're selling. You need to have good packaging. So
and again, we're not telling you you can do whatever you want to do. We're just saying from a guy perspective, here's maybe some tips and some advice. You can do whatever you want to do. We ain't trying to tell you how to be, none of that kind of stuff. Do you, boo, boo. But at the same time, if you are the type of woman that maybe you're sitting back thinking, how come guys don't approach me, or, where are all the good men or whatever, maybe it's a matter of your light being on bright enough so that he can see it and being open to being able to approach you again. I mean, we're looking forward to this event, Thursday, and I would love to maybe get some feedback, maybe, and I would love for, some of the women to be like, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys there. When I hear in those circles, like, where are all the men? I'm like, excuse me, there's like a dozen men in this joint. What are you talking about? But if you're over here and your light looks off, he's probably not going to come up to your door and try to open it. I mean, and so, if
you basically have a no soliciting sign on.
Absolutely. But if you make it clear that with your energy, with your radiance, with your interaction, with any of that kind of stuff, that your light is on, you'll probably end up with a lot more success than failure or rejection in terms of your singleness and engaging in groups and rooms full of single people. So man, we said we're gonna wind this thing down, man. Bring this, let's bring this thing
we're under a half hour. I think
we're
doing
way
good.
under hours, that's for sure. What's your last 10 seconds of reflection on this thing, man?
Well, it's just like anything else, what's your packaging, what are you marketing, what are you selling, how is your branding, kind of thing. We all are attracted to smiles and eye contact and open body posture. So think about how you're presenting yourself. And if you want somebody to approach you, are you shut down? Are you open? Are you making eye contact? Are you smiling? That's just more likely to get you the attention you're looking for.
Yeah. If you want to get noticed, one low hanging fruit way to do it is to show some cleavage or show some thigh or whatever, but that's not who you really want to be. You want to be noticed for your light. But if your light is off, we can't see it. Or if your light is dim, we can't see it. So the only ask is to turn your light on and or make sure it's on full bright mode, just like this ring light that I'm using to broadcast here. So
and for those of you that are part of Parker Social, if all you single folks out there, all of our friends out there that are in the single world, things like Modern Manhood, The 7 Secrets of Modern Dating behind me, my 2 books. These are the things that you can educate yourself so you're more prepared, because we weren't taught these things. There's no class in school about how to date and how to communicate.
Yeah.
We got to educate ourselves now, and you're an adult. It's up to you to educate yourself. Yeah. Pick up these tools. These are great tools. They will help you out immensely. And then get out in the world, get in the garden and start digging.
JBK, I love you, man. But I played golf with you for 2 hours and I sat down and talked to you for 4.5 hours. I'm tired of you today, man. I love you, but
I ain't mad at you. All right.
I love you to death, man.
We're done.
Love you, man. All right. See you. Peace.